Hi, and welcome to the roundup of Sibos 2017 here in Toronto. I'm Joy Macknight, Deputy Editor at The Banker, and I'm joined by Brian Caplen, Editor of The Banker. Brian, thanks so much for joining us. So what would you say are the big themes here at Sibos this year?
Well, I'd say technology, 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 quite frankly. Of course, technology is always a theme of Sibos, but you know, there's so much going on. You go through a whole list of things, the Internet of Things, Bitcoin, blockchain, cloud, mobile wallets, analytics. There's so much, and I think there's sort of one challenge for the banks is to kind of put a vision thing together and actually, you know, try and map out a world that's going to be completely transformed, not just banking, but everything we know. And you can add in robotics and artificial intelligence to that. And then at the same time, they've got to start thinking practically about, you know, what can I do for this piece? What can I do with the current account? In terms of the new technology, in terms of, you know, cutting down the moving parts to it and making it more sort of digital friendly for a new generation. And that's a big ask to try and put those two things together. So I think that's occupied a lot of thinking time here at Sibos.
I would say another hot topic was really around the SWIFT GPI Global Payments Innovation Initiative, which has now been going for 2 years, but seems has really taken a step forward.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I mean, you know, when these initiatives come up, as journalists we're used to, it's a new initiative. So you're always a little bit skeptical. Okay, let's see how it does. But definitely this year, people are talking about GPI as the way ahead in correspondent banking, and as actually sort of rescuing correspondent banking from a model that seemed to be going out of fashion completely. But we're talking about the next phase of GPI. They're saying they've got 120 banks signed up. They've done 2 million payments and more in the first 9 months, so pretty impressive. Of course, the other thing that always comes up, or has done for the last few years, is blockchain. We had a lot of hype about blockchain. Where do you think we are now with it?
Yeah, it's interesting because Singapore, which was 2015, the hype was really blockchain, 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 as it was technology this time.
Yeah.
But last year in Geneva, I think the hype was a bit lower in the sense that I think the banks were really still trying to figure out what exactly the application could be, you know, and how it could really change the infrastructure. Whereas again, I think this year they've gone through the proof of concepts, they're moving into actual production. And so again, the hype was, you know, hitting up the hype cycle again.
And it seems as if it's not going to be take out the whole system now, but we could see pieces of the puzzle, you know, where you could apply blockchain effectively.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. So trade finance is a big area that I think a lot of banks are really focused on. Payments is another area, the securities area as well, so clearing and settlement. I think there is hope that it might replace some of the infrastructure, some of the aging infrastructure that's maybe not fit for purpose anymore, but I think that's going to take some time.
Okay, optimistic note there. Yeah. Now the other buzzword is collaboration, isn't it? So we're always hearing about collaboration. It's, you know, like client friendliness and all those kinds of things. It's something that's always trotted out. But I think you've noticed a sort of change in the way it's functioning, is that right?
Yeah, it's really interesting because with the View from Sibos video series, I've talked to a lot of people about what they thought the trends were. And a number of banks have really said, you know, this year has been a year of collaboration, and it's not just the bank to regulators, bank to corporate treasury, but also bank to fintechs, but it's pulling together that whole ecosystem. So I think there has been a bit of a step change that way this year.
Joy, thank you very much. Check out all the videos from Sibos online at The Banker. We'll see you next year in Sydney.